I did Live Prepper here, and I came across this article here. It is Prepper Mistakes, 6 mistakes preppers make that can get you killed. Now, this here, like I say, I don't see the title on it right now, but you can see right here in the corner, is a blog. It's done by this particular prepper right here. So it cut some of it off, so I don't have the full name to it. But it says it's posted by Robert Richardson. It says prepper mistakes, 6 mistakes preppers make that can get you killed. Number one, of course, most common sense, not having enough water. People think, well, you know, I got plenty, it's going to do me. But you don't know. If you do not have filter systems for your water, if you don't have water purification, iodine. I've got a bottle of iodine in my cabinet in there. I have some sand and some rock and some charcoal that I can chop up, smash up, and make a filter system to filter my water with in a situation. And it depends on the area you're living in. Don't just take the water for granted that it's going to be there, because it may not be. You may have to wait for the rain. You may have to be forced to relocate and figure out how you're going to survive through the situation. So it says stocking up on water is not glamorous. It's certainly not sexy, but your life sure as heck depend on it. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see. It's also the deadliest one we can talk about. 3 days without water, folks. You know, 3 weeks without food, but 3 days without water, you're down for. I really don't overemphasize how important it is to have a clean, drinkable emergency supply of water. While stocking up on water may not be as exciting as buying guns, ammo, and gear, it's one of the most important things you can do and should be number one on your list of priorities. I try to keep a certain amount of water at home. I do have rainwater I collect for my plants, my animal stuff, and I like to use it for my hair, what I wash with. I actually rather wash my dishes in rainwater than I would in the city water, to be honest with you, because I think it's just better. And I like washing some of my hand washables in rainwater if it's at all possible, so I'd rather do that. So, you know, stocking up on water is something to think about. They say you need to rotate it out, but you know what? I don't know about how much you rotate out, but if you collect rainwater, you need to put something in it to kind of keep the algae down, a little bit of bleach or something other to keep the algae out of that, unless you just plan on flat out using it for something else. Because algae can build up in some of those containers very easily. So you need to think about that in a system. Put just maybe a capful or something of bleach into a 55-gallon drum of water that will sustain you for a long period of time. They put too much importance on their gear. I made a lot of my stuff. Is it all in one spot right now? No, I admit it's not. But can I get it? Sure. Do I know how to survive? Sure. I'll make do with what I got, but I don't have a lot of money into it. Most I got into, I bought a backpack that cost me a little bit of money. And as I look back on it, I probably would have went a lot cheaper and not really needed that expensive backpack. Like I say, it says, what kind of gear should I buy? This is one of the top questions that I receive from new readers. It's also something that takes away from what you should be focusing on is knowledge. It's like I tell you, knowledge. Learning how to live off the land, learning how to make things, learning how to make do with what you got. You know, I read some of these articles and stuff, buy more clothes, buy more of this. These companies that depend on you buying all their stuff. It just depends on it. I love survival gear as much as the next guy, but the problem highlights something I see in all aspects of society. Our culture has become addicted to the quick and easy fix. In survival, that doesn't exist. There's no silver bullet, there's no magic piece of gear, and nothing except good old-fashioned knowledge and training will improve your odds of surviving a disaster. Number 3 here was they lack the knowledge it takes to really survive. Knowledge is the key to survival. What didn't you just say that? Like I said, just repeat any sentence. Say knowledge. When I talk about learning. A lot of the stuff that we learned we won't ever use. Yes, I did, and it's until I'm blue in the face. That's what it takes for people to get up off their butts and learn what it's really like to survive. Don't go get one of those survival camps and go there for 3 days. That is not what's going to teach you how to survive. Survive is actually just getting out there hiking, actually camping, actually taking time to learn how to survive out there. It's a whole thing right there. You can only own every piece. You can own every piece of survival gear ever made, but if you lack the skills to survive, that gear is useless. To be truly prepared, you need to learn how to survive without your gear. Once you have a good grasp of what's needed to survive without it, then you can start to focus on what gear you should buy. Like I said, there's companies out there, their job is to make money off of you. Bottom line, that's just their job. The rice and bean mentality. I'm not trying to pick on rice and beans. They're actually one of my favorite foods. And in my case, they might be the perfect food to stock up on. The point I'm really trying to make is you need to tweak your plans to fit your unique situation. If rice and beans is what you normally eat, then by all means, go ahead and stock up on rice and beans. But remember that buying a truckload of emergency food that you've never tried or will never eat is not only expensive, but it can get you killed. That's what I try to tell people. I look at some of these videos and what people showing, and they're showing tons, and they got 20 bottles of ketchup. Well, that's fine and dandy. Then they got 20 bottles of ranch dressing. That takes up a lot of space. You got powdered dressings, that ranch dressings and stuff like that you can put up in emergency situations. Instead of buying that 20 bottles of ranch dressing, cut it down to 8 or 10 bottles that you're going to rotate out if you eat a lot of dressing, and so switch over to the powdered ranch dressing instead, or other dressings that you can put up that would take a lot less space, and have that there in a rotate, and you can use those powdered dressings in your dishes and everything to flavor them like potatoes and things like that up. So, that's just it. An emergency situation is never the time to find out how your body will react to certain foods. A lot of people stock up on food that they don't like. They think they got to. If you don't like it, you're not going to eat it. Another thing, if you may be allergic to it, you may find out, say, you never ate peanut butter, but you don't like peanut butter. You really don't eat it, but you got peanut butter stocked up, and you find out you're allergic to peanuts. You find out you're allergic to peanut oil. See, that's just it. There's foods there that will go to waste. Do not get stuff that you would not eat. Then another one is, like I said, we're talking about, of course, the food allergies, regular food allergies that I just went over. And the thing is do you really want to be stuck eating this food? Now, the thing is, you may not blow up like a balloon, like you said, but you're going to be eating something you really don't want, and it's going to make you sick. So how are you coming out ahead? You're not. Another one here is number 5 is becoming too dependent on guns and ammo. Oh no, I said it. I tell people like, well, I know you don't care for guns, Joan. You don't own one. You don't care for them. Wrong. I like guns. I'm not an expert on guns. I can't quote my names off of what all the guns are or what type of ammo everything's needed. I just feel that I can focus my money on some other things too. I can't afford a gun right now. Don't mean I don't want a gun someday. I just can't have one right now. So, but for the ones who do have it, more power to them. Because I grew up around family that hunted. Deer meat was on our table. We hunted rabbits, quail, ducks, whatever. It was on our table. We ate it. Groundhog, barbecue groundhog. Woo, we'd have some good meat right there. Raccoon. I was raised up around it, so I have no problems with guns. But like you said, it says, and he says, but before you get upset, like you said, give me a minute again. He says, I love guns. In fact, I think they're one of the most important items that you can have. That being said, there are a number of people who I encounter over the years that think having a gun means that somehow prepared to survive anything. I actually heard some people say, I don't need to stock up on supplies. I've got all the guns and ammo I need to survive. In an SHTF situation, you don't know what's going to happen. Food can become very scarce in a situation. Animals, as a general rule, will leave the areas that is contaminated or whatever. They will go to higher ground or another location. So there you are looking for food that you may not find. Then again, you're going to have to think about the competition with people. People will begin to overhunt in some cases, some areas, depends on the areas you're at. You just don't know what's going to happen. You really don't. So, in my opinion, that type of thinking is not only juvenile, but it also shows a complete misunderstanding of what it really takes to survive. Stocking up on guns and ammo is definitely important. Without them, you're putting yourself and your family at risk. But it's also not the be all and end all of survival. So that's what that's based on. And I agree with them on that. Like I say, tell people 4 basic guns is what I would need in a situation. What you're going to realize too, if SHTF happens worldwide, there's going to be a big chunk of people just going to be gone. So you're going to find guns laying around. You're going to be able to find ammo in places and stuff. If you know where the gun shops are, if you know where they make the bullets at and stuff, and going house to house with all these empty houses, like I said, within the first year, many people are going to starve to death. Many of them's going to freeze to death. So the population is going to decline. So you're going to find weapons along the way. It's good that you got them, but you're going to find them. And those who has reloaders will make their own bullets, and that plus air. And then number 6, not understanding that people will become a threat during an SHTF crisis. One of them, on one of the people on Doomsday, this woman was sitting there with her husband go walking with the dog. She sat there putting this panel over the door, and she had food hid behind it. Well, I'm sitting there like going, oh my goodness, how redneck could that girl get? I'm thinking, alrighty. But she sat there and put that panel over that door and had food hid all up in there. She had her bed hid with food in it, and she was saving lifesavers and stuff like that. And she said, this is to feed the people around me, to feed the community. I hate to tell you this, woman. What you got there is not going to feed a community of people. A lot of them's going to come here and take you. You thinking you're just going to be able to do all this? Say, here's the food. Let's take care of everybody. It's going to take a lot more than what you're saving. So, and then she's just thinking that everything's going to be okie dokie, and it's not. The thing is, in that during a crisis situation, people will likely become one of the top threats to your safety and security. That's what I tell people. Your best friend can turn against you. Your family can turn against you. You will find out who you can count on and who you can't. You might end up counting on the person that you hated the worst. You might end up counting on a race of people that you don't like, or neighbors that you don't like. They might be your allies. They might be the best shot you got, because those are the ones you're going to end up counting on. And the ones you thought you could count on would be the ones that turn against you. You just don't know. While the world may be filled with millions of good and decent people, in a crisis situation, these people can and will quickly become unpredictable. In my opinion, during a disaster of any size, the most dangerous location will be large cities or areas that has a high density of people. This is a threat that must be considered. Now, that's what I say to people. That I said, well, I'm going north. I'm going where it's cold. And people are like, why? Why don't you go where it's warm? Because that's where everybody else is going. In an SHTF worldwide situation, I am going to go the opposite from what people are. I want to have to hustle and bustle during the summer months, collect what I need to get me through the winter months. But I'm not going to have as many people around to bother me. While everybody heads to the warmer climates, you're going to have more people fighting over food. You're going to have more people spreading diseases and stuff. So why do I want to go where everybody's going to be? I'm surely don't want to go to places like New York or Los Angeles or any of these huge cities. I want to avoid them as much as possible. So this is just 6 mistakes. Like I said, number 1, not having enough water. 2, they put too much importance in their gear. 3, they lack the knowledge it really takes to survive. 6, the rise of mean mentality. Okay. Well, somewhere in there. And then becoming dependent on guns and ammo, and understand that people will become a threat during it. So, like I said, it cuts some of it off, and it cuts the title off of it. So, but here it is right there. Look it up. I do a little more research. So I encourage people to look up things and read these articles that I post in more complete detail and understand them. And tell me what you think. Maybe there's an article you want me to look up and find and read it and see what I think about it. And I might end up posting it, but I'm not guaranteeing I will. This is Life Prepper here. When you be safe, be happy. Bless you all.